Ladies and gentlemen, happy Sabbath where you are. I hope you are fine. Where we are, it is raining, and it has been raining throughout the night. So, welcome to Skyman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. I noted that since the Catholic bishop attacked the government because of corruption, abduction, extrajudicial killing, killing education, crisis in the health sector, and even trying to kill devolution, I noted that the government switched to a panic mode. We saw William Ruto responding to the church yesterday. Isaac Mwaura, the government spokesman, also responded. Alfred Mutua started promising jobs abroad. And in fact, they were even advertised. The CS Education responded. The CS Health responded. Raila Amolo Odinga also responded and stood with devolution and accused the government of trying to kill devolution. So, ladies and gentlemen, why is the government in a panic mode? What is in the church? These bishops, Catholic bishops, are known not to side with the church. Even when other mainstream churches, even when the other churches, Pentecostal and Pentecostal churches, when they stood with the government, when they stood with William Samoei Ruto in 2022 general election, the Catholic kept aside. They took a neutral stand. But now, it is the Catholic that is leading the accusation and the confrontation of these issues. So why did the government respond like this? Why did the government panic? Before I give the reasons why the government switched to a panic mode, I want you to watch what William Samoei Ruto said yesterday. Watch what he said.
Because this great institution is run by the Catholic Church, and you know, in the Lord's Creed, we all say we believe in the one Holy Catholic Church. Even those of us who profess other faiths. But because you stand out, it is my request, because I have been to many denominations by virtue of the work I do. I've been to many churches, and I find that in some of the churches, in some of the denominations, they do not have as many qualified clergy. I want to ask Tangaza that, recognizing that many other faiths also believe in the Holy Catholic Church, that you also help train clergy for other churches so that our Christianity is founded on solid understanding and knowledge of the Word of God.
That is William Samoei Ruto in a graduation ceremony, responding specifically to the Catholic and the bishop, to be precise. So why did he respond like this? Why is the government panicking? Number one, in my view, there is fear in the government that this kind of talk, this kind of response by the bishops is going to trigger the Gen Z. And if the Gen Z comes out of the street like they did in June and July, the government will be swept into the oceans. If they come again, it will be very, very difficult to tell them to go back to their homes or wherever they live. There is that fear, there is that panic. And that is why the communication by the government was triggered to respond. And they are going to respond. In fact, Isaac Mwaura tried to deconstruct the church, the bishop, point by point. Even Oscar Sudi responded because of fear. Because, you see, the Gen Z is a time bomb. And if anything triggers them, it is going to meet William Samoei Ruto head on. So that's the greatest thing. Number two, in my view, the government understands very clearly that the Kenyan population is very angry. The government understands that the economy is hurting. The government understands that people are very angry with William Samoei Ruto administration. And now when the church comes here and start talking about the issues, pointing one thing after the other, from the education, university funding model, health sector, SHA, and whatever, then you can understand why the government is defending itself. Because this one is like adding petrol to fire. And people can only be angry with the government, and the government can be left in a situation where it cannot be able to face its own people. Number three is because the church, especially the Catholic, is a strong force. It's a force to reckon with. You cannot ignore the church. The Catholic Church, the universal church, is everywhere, in every corner, in every village, in every town. In fact, many schools and colleges are sponsored by the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church has so many hospitals. The Catholic Church has universities, high schools, and primary schools. And when the Catholic talks, when the Catholic catches fever, then the state starts sneezing. So when the Catholic talk, the message is going to reach every corner of this country. The other issue is because history is a very good teacher. If you remember, during the time of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, the church was in the front line. The church was fighting for multipartyism. The church was fighting for democracy. The church wanted Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi to appeal the Constitution, Section 2A, and it joined hard with the opposition, and they succeeded. It is this fear that is now making William Samoei Ruto to panic. It is this fear that is making the government to respond. It is this fear that the church can unite with the opposition. And if this happens, then the government can be sent out of town. The other issue is that when you look at this war, you know, this government has been demonized completely. It has been demonized. Even the children know that it's not a good government. Now it looks like the war between evil and good. The Catholic Church representing good, and the government representing evil. And any war between evil and good, good will always prevail. It will always prevail over evil. Truth will always triumph. That is the reality. So, when the Catholic speaks, let me ask you a question. If the Catholics are speaking here and William Samoei Ruto is speaking here, utaamini nani? Whom do you believe? Is it the bishops of Catholic? And I'm very particular here. The Catholic bishops and William Samoei Ruto, who is not telling the truth, because this is what is happening here. And I know that because of the huge following of the Catholic Church, the government is still going to respond, is still going to say some issues about the Catholic Church. But listening to this video, when the president is speaking, I think the language used against the church is not good. It's not good at all. And although it has some truth in it, I think he has all the machinery to regulate the churches, just like Ida Odiga said that some of these churches need to be regulated. But that's not the issue here today. The issue is the government is in a panic mode and the Catholic are doing the right thing. Let me ask you, do you support the Catholic bishop? Because me, I support them 100%. So guys, I wish you a nice Saturday, and please like the video, share and comment. Bye-bye.